Hello everyone. So today I want to talk to you about inattentive ADHD and why it's a superpower. Yeah, I said it, superpower. Nuts, crazy, out of this world, damn it. Don't even begin to tell me something that people have told me is a disorder is a superpower. No, let's talk about that. So first, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder has two letters that probably should be changed. Forget that. Let's throw them all out. So there's some research in some other countries going that has coined a term called VAST, variable attention stimulus trait, that actually kind of mirrors what many people's inattentive ADHD brains can function like. Hyperactivity is not always the key. So, and disorder, I don't know. Let's talk about superpower. Before we do, let me tell you what it is and also how to get around some of the challenges that you are indefinitely going to face, right? You're 100% going to have these challenges. Now, this is also for people who know somebody with ADHD or want to understand people better and that our brains literally function differently. If you've already hung up on this video, it's unfortunate. If you haven't smashed, do all the things. We'll talk about it later. So here's the deal. All right. What's the power? Well, it's inattentiveness. It's variable attention, to be more specific. And that actually really could be a positive thing. Because here's the thing. People with ADHD actually do have an ability to learn very quickly, typically. And I'll give you a story on how and why this happens. So usually, in school we grow up and somebody said, hey, Johnny, do this math problem on the board. Well, it's that time of day and Johnny's going, okay, cool. 6 + 2 = 8. And, Johnny's super excited. He got it right. Teacher's excited. 8 triggers something in Sarah's mind, and Sarah actually doesn't really get as excited about the problem. Sarah gets excited about 8, which it happens to be her next birthday number, and she's now thinking about her birthday and all the cool things that she might be able to do, which, fun fact, people with ADHD get invited to less birthday parties and have less friends typically than other people as well. And that is unfortunately a challenge and travesty. So let's talk about Sarah. Sarah gets asked what, let's say, 4 + 6 is. Well, Sarah unfortunately wasn't paying attention at all. She does know it's that time of day and therefore actually thinks about it, looks up at the board, sees that the other problem was answered with the fill in the blank. It's, has a logical solution. And Sarah's brain does something very unique. And this will help Sarah a lot in her life. It actually fills in the blank for her. She not only solves the problem, but she actually learns how to adapt in a neurotypical world when her brain wanders by very quickly assimilating all the information that's around her and that's on that board to make sure that she gives the best answer possible, which happens to be 4 + 6 = 10, right? Congratulations, Sarah, you got it right. So hopefully that helps you to understand how this can be a superpower, but we're really just getting to the surface because this inattentiveness really could be a huge positive in business as well. And this is going to take the right company. It's going to take the right leadership. And this is where a lot of people will struggle. So I hope that everybody's made it to this point. Because here's what we do about it. All right, this superpower means that Sarah's now, in her 30s. She's learned so much more, let's say, than a neurotypical person in their 30s sometimes. And that is because her brain functions on interest. Interest drives Sarah every day. So that means she's continuing to learn. But when she learns, she's so interested that she learns a lot and very quickly, right? Because passionate people learn about what they want to learn. However, when you're not interested, cancel that equation out entirely. It actually does the opposite and it's harmful, right? That's what leads to, people who get put in boxes with ADHD who have the same job sometimes necessarily over and over, but, not just organization, but literally never change jobs, never grow in that position, even if it's the same position, that's fine. That's what challenges them. So what does that look like? Well, how do we overcome it? Let's talk about careers, right? I'm a recruiter, and one of the things that I've learned by now is, well, this is something maybe I should have looked at earlier. If I had known better, I probably would have. Fields that typically do well for people who have ADHD: engineering, science, technology. Now don't put, or at least make sure the person you put in charge, if they have ADHD, is okay with a 30-year trial project in science, if that's what the requirements are. But typically something that has a continuous evolution of learning is best. It's harder if you ask them to do the exact same thing over and over and over and over and over again. So know this about yourself, but know this also about others. Now, you could say this is true of everybody, and that's not necessarily the case. Some people love consistency to that level. My wife was in tears the other day, literally talking to a friend. Said, Damon craves stability more than anybody you would know. You would never know that, but he does. And here's why. My inattentive brain wants to do all the other things. So in my work life too, what I do want is stability. I want to be with the same company for 10 years. I want to continue to learn and grow in that organization and that specific ability. So engineering, Amazon Cloud Services, Azure, lots of other things. I've done recently true NAS projects. I've worked in virtual machines. I set up a virtual NAS system for my wife in the house. I have a home-based cloud that lets us access incredible desktop power anywhere in the world as long as I have internet. And this all started with interest. And that's not my career field. Could it be? Yeah, maybe. Somebody gives me the shot and the timing's right and all the things, 100%. And in those fields, things change, they adapt. You can stay in the same role and continue to be challenged in a positive way, right? Versus challenged the exact same way necessarily with the same problem. So remember that problem from the board. Remember that Sarah didn't take anything away. So I hope this has been helpful in understanding inattentive ADHD, but also people. We all do have very different brains. That's a good thing. So let's use it as such. Make sure that if you did like this, if you think it could help anybody, smash the like, the follow, the shares, all the things. Listen, just like hit all the things, you know what I mean? And, see you on the other side too when we get to the next one. We'll talk more about careers potentially.